In this video, we will explore how the Ohio Department of Education builds state tests. The purpose of this video is to provide a general overview of the development process used by the department to create a state test. Because it is an overview, this video will not contain information exclusive to an individual content area, but rather state tests as a whole. If you have additional questions after viewing this video, you can contact the Ohio Department of Education. Contact information for the department can be found at the end of the video. Once the need for a new state test in any content area is determined, the Ohio Department of Education, ODE, begins a lengthy development process to create the new test. This entire process for developing any state test is approximately 2 to 3 years. After the decision to create a new state test is made, the department goes through the selection process to choose an assessment vendor to partner with throughout the development and administration of the tests. While the vendor selection process is being carried out, the department identifies which Ohio learning standards are eligible to be tested in each grade level and/or subject. These standards are identified in a document known as the test blueprint. When a vendor is selected, they work together with the department to create a state test that follows the blueprint each year the test is administered. At this stage of the process, ODE and the vendor work together to set item development goals. Then the vendor creates items from the Ohio Learning Standards based on the test blueprints. Newly created items are reviewed by ODE. During the review process, edits and revisions to individual items can be made between ODE and the vendor. The review process between ODE and the vendor takes a few months to complete. As new items are being developed and reviewed internally, the department begins assembling various stakeholder committees to support the developmental process. An invitation for volunteers to apply to be on one of the various committees is sent out statewide. Committee members represent a variety of district types such as urban, rural, and suburban. Committee members come from a variety of school types like public, private or parochial, community or charter, virtual or online, career tech. Committees are made up of a combination of classroom teachers, curriculum directors, content area coaches or consultants, school administrators, college and university professors, parents, and other community members. The different committees are content advisory, standard setting, fairness and sensitivity, and range finding. Content Advisory Committee reviews test questions to ensure that each question is a valid and appropriate measure of the Ohio Learning Standard for each subject area and grade level. Standard Setting Committee for each test meets only one time to set the test performance levels using cut scores or threshold scores. Committee members determine the beginning score a student must earn on a test to have his or her performance classified into one of several performance levels. At the end, the committee produces recommended cut scores for each performance level of the state tests. Fairness and sensitivity review and evaluate test questions and related test materials to ensure that each question is fair and unbiased for all groups of Ohio students. In addition, the committee confirms that test questions do not promote or inquire as to individual moral or social values or beliefs. Range Finding Committee meets after test questions undergo field testing. The committee members review scoring guidelines for test questions that are open-ended. The committee uses a rubric or set of parameters to score the question. These committees establish the range of acceptable responses, including no credit, partial credit, and full credit. Each test item goes through a departmental review, a review by the Content Advisory Committee, and a review by the Fairness and Sensitivity Committee. After an item has gone through each of these review stages, if the item has been accepted or revised and accepted, it is on to field testing. Field test items appear on each operational state test. They are placed on the test to check the quality and appropriateness of the item. These do not count toward a student's overall score. Field test items are scored and then undergo a review to evaluate the performance of the item. Items that perform well on the field test go into the item bank for the grade level or course. The item bank contains all of the eligible test items that can be used to build future state tests. Items that perform poorly on the field test are not added to the test bank. They may be sent back through the item development process for further revision or rejected. Rejected items are no longer considered as eligible items. The entire development process, from start to finish, is shown here in the graphic. This document is available for download on the department webpage. If you have any additional questions about the assessments or the development process, please contact the Ohio Department of Education. Content information and topics of expertise are available on the department webpage.